Man, super. There we go. Hello, 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 and welcome to End of Season Report. I am CrunkChocolate. This is part of Shades of Blues podcast content season, streaming live from FanFest. Shout out to everybody, our Patreonies watching. Also, it is the off season, which means relax a little bit. Take our tribalism togas off, just let our fandom fly free. I am here asking some of my favorite people about clubs in the Premier League and the Women's Super League. And today we focus on the Super League. Man. Champions of Europe.
Man.
Can't saying that.
About it.
Wow.
Two times.
Hey, we're just gonna talk about this season though. We're just talking about this season.
I'm just spinning
enough. Oh man, this lovely person we have with us today to talk Arsenal women. Shout out to the 12, which is our network family. They cover the women's Super League, all 12 teams. If you get the name, the 12, they're so smart. I love it. 1/4 of that podcast. Also, shout out to Angel City. He's around there covering them. Angels on Parade. Big
day coming up tomorrow too.
I'm super excited to see all about it, honestly. Shady Gang, please give it up for our friend. You know him, you love him. Tracy, how's it going?
You hate me. It's okay.
Hate is such a strong word.
The Arsenal representative, yes. I am the one that...
I forget about the Arsenal. I just... When people ask me about Treb, I'm just like, oh, right, he is an Arsenal fan, isn't he?
Yeah. I get the same thing when I tell some people that I'm a Cubs fan. They're like, oh, that's right, you do root for them. Like you have a lot of like mutual Chicago friends who are not Cubs fans, so they're just always the same.
Yes.
Like, okay. I forgot there is that one flaw about you. Yes.
Just constantly posting W's in the chats, and I'm a Cardinals fan, so like I also hate it too. So, it's just, but they haven't been the best this season, so I am not really too stressed about anything when it comes to them.
When it comes to baseball, I'm just like, especially as a Cubs fan, it's like, okay, we'll see how we're doing in August before I can really get excited about how well we are. But it's looking good. It's looking even better for the women of Arsenal. I know that. That's a lot of fun.
That's facts, though.
I'm just now coming down from the celebrations, and I feel like maybe Katie McCabe is still partying somewhere. Hopefully.
Depending on if Chloe Kelly's brought back, she should probably still be partying as well.
I think that's just a matter of when it gets announced and not if. I mean, there was a lot of like mutual glazing going on in the hours after the European Championship win.
She was going to pubs partying. Like doing her best to be like a cult hero to make it where
never
the fans
has a
are
player
like, you have to sign her.
Yeah. So I think that gets done. I very much feel like that is, like I said, it's just a matter of when they announce it and not an if. So,
well, first let's start talking about the kit of Arsenal. You're gonna our Arsenal podcast, Arsenal 86. They jokingly, lovingly called the club Arsenal Fashion Club, and they tend to have
fashionable kits.
Well, I mean, I actually don't mind these kits, and I'm not saying this just because you're on here. I would love nothing more than to hate on but I very much do enjoy all three of the kits. But we are going to start, and this is also coming from you. What is your grade and your thoughts on the kits? We'll start with the home.
I think the home is an A+. I mean, it's such a classic Arsenal look, but it's not like I think. The problem that a lot of us had with this past season's kit was just like that blue kind of like stripe going on that Arsenal's seen. They're like heavy into blue the last few years, and I don't really understand why. I wish they would kind of go back to like the yellow, the gold, kind of like what is usually our traditional third color, right? But the blue on the kit this past season wasn't great. This year, a lot more of a classic look. I think the only thing I don't like about it is the badge. I wish it was the cannon only and not the, the what a lot of people consider to be the cartoony looking Arsenal badge, the one, the kind of like the shield looking one.
Okay.
If it was just a straight white cannon, I think that would be perfect, unbeatable. I love it. I've already placed my order for the red kit, along with along with a lot of other memorabilia from the weekend pass. But yeah, I think that the home kit is an A plus for me, 100%. I love it, and I love I love the old school A script that they have, kind of like, I don't know how you would describe it in fashion terms. It's not really embedded in the shirt, but it's like stitched into the shirt, kind of like in the background, the design of it. It's really good. I like that.
Wait, are you talking about the new one, or are you talking about last year's?
The new one, the 25, 26. Are we not talking about the ones coming out this year?
This is a season review. Why were we
so
talking
we're talking?
about
Well, then no, then that one gets like an A minus, like a B. Yeah, no, the blue didn't do it for me, bro. See, I think we're talking about the ones that are dropping now.
No, okay. I don't care about those. We're here. This is a season review. Everything 2024, 25. Quit trying to just throw extra Arsenal information in here. I'm not doing it.
No, yeah, I didn't like the blue. The blue, for a lot of us, turned us off. Yeah, no, that was, yeah, those are like a B. Yeah, these past years are like a B.
Wait, which one are you're talking about? The third, the blue stripe one?
No, the white. No, the home. If you look at this past year's home, you see how we have blue on the sleeves and blue on the sides. That part can go. I do not like that part.
Tough crowd. Okay, well then, what do you?
I mean, I just, like I said, I appreciate the other blue one. The third kit that we ran.
The third kit. Yeah.
The sky blue one, kind of like that cotton candy look. That one was all right. I like that one, right? Like, if you're gonna go blue, try to stay away from Chelsea blue. Yeah, like the cotton candy.
Oh, that's fair. And
that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So like the home kit this past season gets like a B plus. The third kit, the cotton candy kit, I like that. That's an A minus. Just because I'm always someone that likes designs. Like, even, what was it, 2 seasons ago when we ran the tennis ball kit, like that highlighter green.
Oh yes.
Even that, like, the design was terrible, but like I appreciated the effort, right? Like, I very much appreciate non-boring, non-traditional kits for the third kit, at least, right? Like, I think your home kit needs to kind of be your traditional, not really much changes, kind of like the standard, and then the away kit, a little bit of the same. But the third kit for me, I'm like, yeah, like that one needs to, like, let's try some different shit. Why not? And then of course I think A plus on what everyone has dubbed the Africa kit. I mean, that kit, away kit,
it is like an African kit.
I mean, look, that's what it is. It's the Africa kit. I love it so much. I think, like, especially when you watch the men playing it, just like a lot of the black players are on the men's side, so like when you watch them wear that kit, it feels even more powerful. There was a lot of jokes flying anytime the women's side would wear that kit, just because you got a lot of blonde-haired, blue-eyed white women rocking this African kit. So the jokes were flying, but like it's still like as its own kit. Like, I love it so much. So that one got an A plus for me. I ordered that one as well. I have it in the closet. Yeah, I love it. I love that kit. A lot of my kits, like when I order kits, I don't tend to wear them a lot. I'm like one of those people that, like, I have it. I plan on like building a display for like some of the background in the future, but like, yeah, I don't tend to wear them too much.
Interesting. I got a Nico Riley signed like shirt, and I just got that in, so I'm gonna get that added to the wall, and stuff like that. But that's because even I got Man City's treble shirt, and I was like, I'm gonna get that. Because they made like a special edition one.
Oh yeah, you gotta get that.
And I have it, and I was like, I'm gonna put it up in I'm gonna get that framed as well. But it's like, I also really like it though. I want to just wear it.
No, I mean, I think, like, the rule is like, if you like wearing them, wear them. But like, yeah, if you get one that's signed, then
that goes up. Yeah,
you shouldn't wear that one. Yes. You don't really want to wear those ones.
The only way I would do that is if I think I could get it signed again personally by him, or maybe even another player or something like that, maybe. But even then, yeah, I don't think I'd wear it. I'd bring it with. But yeah.
I think for our rankings, it would be the away kit, the African kit, the cotton candy kit, third kit, and then the home kit. Like I said, the home one isn't bad, but it's just like it doesn't invoke kind of like that traditional classic Arsenal. Like I said, the blue on the sleeves and the blue stripes on the side, like that didn't really do it. Like that ruined it for me. Yeah. So I would rank it there, but I would still give it like a B plus.
Yeah, which is still a good. It's a good grade, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very like as you can tell, I'm very much excited for next year's home kit.
Yes,
that is the way. Yeah, I think we're from the leaks I've seen for next year. I think we've got it. Although again, if our away kit leak is correct, it's too it's too reminiscent of Chelsea for me. Like it's too blue. It's too It's just I don't like it. I hate when we do that. But I would, like I said, I would rather have the yellow, the gold, kind of go back to that era of Arsenal third and away kits for me.
Let's talk about your boy Mikel Arteta.
I thought this was the women's team. Why are we talking about our team?
Oh, dang it. I just got
look,
excited.
see, look at you already trying. That's the wrong coach, brother. That's the wrong coach. We can talk about Arteta another time. You know I'm always happy to.
Oh man.
He thought he was good. He thought he was good.
Oh man, I got super excited. Oh man. Oh yeah,
but no.
Your whole manager. See, this is why I avoided it, because you had who you had, and it was miserable. Literally pushed Medina into our lap, and so shout out to him for that. But you got rid of him, and there was a little bit of struggle. But now look at you.
Yeah.
Now look at you.
Yeah. I've said it on the 12 before, where it's like you. It's been a long season for the women, where it's like you have to look at it in two parts, right? Like it's with Jonas and without Jonas, and like with Jonas, it was dog shit. Like it was. The vibes were horrendous. The team looked bad. The players looked unhappy. I was genuinely afraid that we were going to lose half of our roster by the transfer window. Like it looked like players were done.
Taylor vibes with us.
Yeah, like it looked like players were just done. A lot of players you could tell were not happy. I mean, who was it that left early in the season? It was Chloe Lacasse, I think, was the one that left early in the season. She had a story like shortly after that was like, yeah, I just did not have joy playing at Arsenal under Jonas, and it was a mess. And going into that season, a lot of us expected to not finish in the top three. Like I'm sure we'll go back on the 12 and kind of talk about our season predictions, but I had us finishing like 5th or 6th at best. I had us, crashing. I mean, it did not look good under Jonas, and I think I was proven right with the results. I mean, we got blown out against Bayern. We got, we basically gave a win to Chelsea at home. I mean, like our defense was atrocious. It was not good vibes. And honestly, the best thing the team did was get rid of them as fast as they could. I think that was, I mean, obviously, history tells like that was the best thing they could do. And then they brought in Renee Slagers, who has proven to be coach of the year. I feel like, I mean, you can't. I know Sonia came in her first year and kind of won the treble and all those trophies, and like congrats to them. But it's like, look at what she inherited versus what Renee Slagers had to go.
Should have won. Needed to win.
You know what I mean? And on top of the fact that again, Renee was coming into a place that just had the worst vibes, and she came in with the sage stick and just cleared it all almost instantly. Like her first couple matches were a little rough. The draw to United, I think it was like a 1-1 draw to United. But even then, like her first 14, 15 matches were unbeaten. More wins than not. We didn't lose a single match in the group stage of the Champions League when she came in. And I'll hold my hands up. Like when she first came in, when they first let go of Jonas, my thought was like, okay, go get someone like Carmen Moscato. Go get like a big name, like a big presence, someone that can really come in and take hold of the team and be like, no, this is what we're going to do now. We're going to get back to the standard. So like I was not familiar with Renee's game. Like I knew she was a Joe disciple. I knew she was part of our academy as a player. So like I knew she knew the club, but again, like I just wasn't completely sold on her at first. But I would say by late December, early January, like going into January, I felt like, okay, give her the contract, let her see out the year, let's see what she can do. And man, I'm really glad they did, because now I'm like, okay, now how much do we need to pay her to make sure we can sign her to like a 10, 20-year deal? Like, let's make sure she never leaves the club for the next 2 decades, because like she knew exactly what to do. Like her tactics were on point. The way she was coaching the players was on point. I mean, it was a night and day difference. Just, not like I said, not just the results on the pitch, but just the vibes and the team. Like it was a team that had found their joy again under Renee.
Man, what's it like getting rid of a manager and bringing in a positive one instead of just like getting rid of a manager and just bringing in?
I've never felt this before. Like I don't think I've ever had a team that I supported, like literally ever, that went from like, okay, this manager needs to go, immediately into, oh my God, this is the greatest manager we've ever had. Like, like shout out Vic Akers. Like obviously that was, the original, the standard, the one that gave us the standard. But like I've said it before, Renee is proper Arsenal. Like I said, she was part of our academy. She's been part of the coaching staff. She seems to love the club. She seems to know the club and know what we need. And I'm really excited about what she does this summer, because I think that even with the Champions League, like we need to have a big summer. And I think the goal now is retaking the crown in the WSL. Like that is the mission. We have to beat Chelsea. Yeah, like we have to beat Chelsea. And I know, like obviously you guys have been knocking on the door. And that comes, so like I get it, and that's no disrespect to you, but like right now,
no, of course,
yeah, like that, like right now, like Chelsea are the reigning champs. Like they've been in control of this league for the last 7 years, and it's time. This is going to be the summer where I come in and be like, look, it's time.
Yeah, somebody needs to knock them down, and the league, and this is what I guess kind of frustrates me about WPL and how they are handling the league, how they seem to be. They don't see the growth of where it's happening, and they're trying to come up with all these ideas because, yes, the top teams won a lot, but the bottom half of the league looked much better than they've had. Like they look every year, it looks better. The teams play better. It's better football, and honestly, they just need to. The things that they really need to do is just really small, and the stuff on their television. Really, honestly, because they got the new logo, but it's like pre-show things and halftime things. Like they just need to treat it more like a bigger deal, and it will keep growing. I don't think they need to do big moves. Yeah,
no, I don't like pausing relegation. I think was a crazy idea to even think about. I mean, really, like we've talked about this on the 12. Like, really, investment just needs to spread out more throughout the league, right? Like we talked about it with the recent announcement that Angel City's own Alexis Ohanian, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Mr. Williams, as everyone lovingly calls him. The news that he became a minor investor in Chelsea, and like, well, that's great that he's staying in women's soccer. We talked about like it would have been better if he would have pulled a Ryan Reynolds, right? Like go put that money into West Ham. Go put that money into Villa. Go put that money behind, Tottenham or something. Like even though they're a rival, and I would hate to see it, like for the betterment of the league, like him coming in with all of his wealth to just be a drop in the bucket for a team like Chelsea, like
I know.
It's very much an American thing where it's like you're latching on to the winner. Like we all know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're and that's fine. I get it. Again, American owners, like we get it. But for the betterment of the league, I just would have liked to see him really be like, you know what? I want women's soccer to grow. I want to get into the WSL. I'm putting money behind West Ham. I'm putting money behind, one of these other teams that when getting that investment would do great. Because like imagine Villa, as gritty and grindy as they are in matches, with the money to then go out and actually get a lot of players. Like
I know, instead of having to sell them
so huge. Yeah, like that would be so huge for them. But it is what it is. But I think that would really help the league, just kind of spreading out some of this money, spreading out some of this investment, and just making sure that all the teams are kind of getting the same, instead of just piling on to the 1 or 2, 3 winners of the league and just giving them more and more and more. Like, even if he came to Arsenal, I wouldn't really like it, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like again, go somewhere where your dollar can go a lot farther and really help grow this league to be something special. So
yeah, I'm with you. It's similar ideas with the men's. How do we keep getting the teams that are getting promoted from being relegated? It's like, give them even more money. I know you guys are like, that's so much money that they're already getting. No, they need even more. Like, the top teams should not be getting, like, yes, they're on TV more, but give them just a little bit less of that broadcasting deal money, like $5 million from each of the top 6 teams, and just disperse that to the bottom 3 in itself. That's huge. That the type of players they're able to bring in is better. They won't have, like, it'll just be so much.
I mean, you look at Newcastle, right? Like, men and women's side, where it's like, this was a middling club for so long, but it was one of those clubs, kind of like how Villa is, that just like, you never went to their house feeling like it was an easy win. They were always kind of like a grindy, a plucky, kind of strong team. And then as much as a lot of people don't like that oil money stuff, like, they get the investment behind their team, and you see what they do almost immediately. Like, they're in Champions League. They are a team that is fighting for the top now. Like, they have a player in Alexander Isak that everyone wants. And even if they sell him, it's going to be for probably close to 200 million, 150, 200 million mark. And so, it's that kind of investment that can change a club. So now, and you see it on their women's side too, because their women's side has been coming up through the divisions, and they will be knocking on the door of the WSL very soon. And that is going to be a very interesting prospect. And so, it's like I said, just for the WSL, I think what they need to do is figure out ways to really spread out the wealth. And you see it in the NFL. Like, the NFL, I think, for as much shit as we give them on so much of their wrongs, I think that was the one thing that they did right, which is like limiting how many owners and how much money comes into certain areas, right? They're like, okay, Dallas has Jerry Jones and that, but like, we're also going to make sure that like Jacksonville has the Cons, right? And we're going to make sure that, Indianapolis has Jim Irsay, and like, we're going to make sure that every area at least has someone that we know can compete. Now, whether they do it or not is a whole different thing, but at least you're trying to spread that investment and spread that wealth. And so
that's fair.
I would like to see a little bit more awareness in that area for the WSL.
So back to Renee, her grade, I assume, is an A, right?
A+. I mean, like, and that's not even like an Arsenal fan like that. Like,
that's fair. No, that's fair.
That was a team that was in the dumps. Like,
especially if you're grading on a curve compared to the manager that you got rid of, it's
If you're doing that, it's even higher. But like, to go from not looking like you're going to get out of the group stage of Champions League, and to go from a team that looks like they might not even finish top 3, to then
that's fair.
Go on this run where you're winning matches, you finish second. You kind of, there's a brief window where you gave Chelsea a scare, but it's like their schedule was really favorable in that point. And so like, but again, to not lose in the Champions League, to come back against Real Madrid, to come back on the road against Lyon, to take down what everyone considers to be the greatest women's side on the planet right now in Barcelona in the biggest game, like, it doesn't get any better than that, like, point blank period. But if you would have told me at the beginning of if you would have told me the day Jonas got fired that Renee Slegers was going to take over, we would finish second, we would win the Champions League, I probably would have laughed in your face. Like, I would have been like, sure, bro. Like hopefully, yeah, but like, not even I'm so much of an Arsenal fan to call that shot. Like, that is insane. But yeah, she gets an A+, and hopefully she gets a lifetime contract soon.
Well, let's keep it moving to the roster, which, the constant joke about the squad is, just a lot of tall, white, blonde women, sure, but you do have some very solid players on this team. It's people that I don't mind, but then you also have obviously a player that you guys love, but most people, like, that's the thing. Like, Chloe Kelly having to come to Arsenal when McCade whacked her across the head with a football just like 2 seasons ago. I know, I'm sure they squashed that pretty quickly. But I would have loved to have, been there when it was first announced. Like, did she care? Did she think anything of it? Just things like that.
Well, I think it's definitely been on their minds, right? Because with the Champions League celebrations, we've seen a lot of like reenacting of that photo, right? Like Chloe Kelly posted on Instagram Katie McKay basically hitting her with the Champions League trophy, kind of like mimicking that moment.
Wow, that's
you know what I mean? Like, so that's why I'm laughing, because they very much have leaned into lately that moment where it's like, yeah, it happened, but like they very much have like I don't know what you would call it, like a romance, a sistermance, a romance, like they very much have bridged that gap, so to speak, I guess, or put water under that bridge and just have moved on from it. Yeah, like everyone loves Chloe Kelly. I think even with winning Champions League, as far as the roster is constructed and as far as where we're at, I give it like a solid B. I don't think obviously it's not the best roster in the league. I think Renee did a hell of a lot more with that team than a lot of people would have. I think even if we keep every single person on that team, Arsenal still need a winger. They still need an attacker and probably a defender. As much as I would like a midfielder, I think we can get by on the midfield we have, but like I do think we might need help in that kind of like center back area, unless the plan is to put Catley at center back, which she did really well in the Champions League, but I don't know if I would want to trust that long term. But yeah, the roster still needs work. Like even with the trophy that we have, it's not like an A roster in my opinion. It's very much like
you just had a very headstrong team who, Renee Slager got them set up like they know. Everybody knew where to be, what to do, and they went all out on it. Obviously, you have some really good players. Like Caldente just became a hooper, just like I'm scoring when I need to, which is almost all the time at the end of the season. And then obviously, like Leah Williamson is fantastic, and shout out to USA. Emily Fox is doing her thing. Blackstenius, I know she's much maligned, but I feel like every single time she comes on as a sub against City,
she's a super sub. Yeah, she's
she gets shit popping, and it frustrates me.
Yeah. So it's not the worst roster, but there's definitely improvements to be made that I hope we do make. I was very mixed emotions when the Angel City announcement came that they had gotten Svendis. That was somebody I think everyone knows that a lot of Arsenal fans wanted really bad. I think that was someone we felt like we had a really good chance, and I think up until the moment Angel City hired Strauss, Arsenal was probably in the lead for that. Just from everything that I gather, I'll probably be more sure of that in the coming days. As I mentioned, tomorrow is the introductory press conference for Alexander Strauss, and I'm sure Svendis should be around the training center there somewhere. So hopefully I can pick some brains tomorrow and kind of get some things talked about. But yeah, I think that the only thing I think really lacking for Arsenal right now on the women's side is just an attacker like Caldente that can score at will. Like they just need a player that can take control of a game, like an Ovaye kind of player, right? Like someone like that would be great for Arsenal. That fits kind of like that winger role that they need, but also a player that can hit it from 30 yards out, score a goal, that can lead a team. So yeah, I think they need to get in someone like of that caliber. Although I don't think it will be her. I think she's going to London City. If I were to guess.
Just London City spending that money.
You knew it was going to happen. Kane don't play.
Okay, what is your rating for their grade for the roster?
B. Like I said, that's a solid B team this past season. I'm hoping they turn it into a, but that's a B team. Yeah, that is a solid B team. Like you mentioned, I think our defense played incredibly well. I think our goalkeeper, the one that we brought in for this season, Daphne, like she played really well. But like I said, it's just a really solid roster that I don't think on paper is a Champions League winning roster. But again, like we see, this is why you don't play matches on paper. So I think Renee did really good getting the absolute most, and they stuck to what they knew, right? Like they played Arsenal football, they played it well, they played it hard, they played it strong, and they played it consistently. And thank goodness we didn't have many injuries down the stretch, because I think health also really, really mattered. But yeah, really happy.
Supporters is the next category. Hold on, I keep forgetting to do it for all of them.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
the transition. Whoosh.
I always forget about that. And obviously, the negative about Arsenal fandom usually is talk about Arsenal men's squad. Arsenal women, you like they always do the numbers. They get the numbers at their games. That's really cool. Um, I will say a couple of some of the more annoying WOSO accounts that I follow on Twitter are Arsenal people, but I think they just themselves are annoying, not necessarily they
Not
are
because it's the
annoying. They
Arsenal
just
content.
happen
It's like
to
they are
also
just
be
annoying.
yeah. They just kind of how they post is just kind of annoying, and then playing for Arsenal just kind of makes it worse. Uh, but yeah, I guess how would you grade the Arsenal women's supporters over their actions and how they've treated the club or spoken up or
Right.
about the club over this last year? What grade would you give them?
I think that's a B plus. I think the only thing I didn't like from our fans this season came near the end of Jonas's tenure, with the infamous kind of Jonas out tagging of the wall out there in London.
Yeah,
And
that was a lot. That was a lot.
well, I was fine with it. Like I think that was great. Like I thought that was fine. Like in terms
Okay.
of protest, like I think what I didn't like was the reaction to it was just a lot of like what I felt like was infantizing a lot of the players, where it's like, oh, they're gonna feel unsafe, they're gonna feel scared, and I'm just like, guys, like someone wrote Jonas out with paint on a brick
I know.
wall.
Why
Like,
would the players? Shouldn't
that's
Jonas
what
be
I'm saying. Like
worried?
no one's attacking the players, brother. Like if anyone should be fearful, it's Jonas. Like
It
he's
should
the
be.
one that is getting
Yeah.
like he's the one catching the smoke, right?
Oh,
So
that's
like,
hilarious.
and even then, like that was the most that fans did, right? Like even through the bad games and the hard times and losing all the matches at the beginning of the season, like you said, like we were still filling out the Emirates. There was still 30, 40, 50,000 fans there. Like there was still a lot of love for the players, a lot of love for the team, a lot of support for the club. I think that might be what annoys a lot of people about Arsenal fans more than anything is like for the expectations we have, we still support our team. Like even if they don't meet the expectations, like we're not going to sit there and badmouth them too much. Like we're gonna do our best to support them on the day and be there for them. But like that's why I give it a B plus because I felt like fans were just getting a little too in their feelings about that Jonas out thing. Especially now that it's all said and done and looking back and like when you look at Arsenal Reddit and when you look at places online, like they're like, oh, I hope this person never has to buy a drink again. And like this is the hero of the season, the person that wrote this on the wall. And it's like, yeah, that's what protests are about. Like the men's side, they do a lot of like the airplane, like they rent the airplane, they fly the banner. Like this was just paint on a wall. Like this was just letting the club know like we're not happy. And I think that sometimes drastic measures need to be taken. And I feel like it was proven, right? Like 2 days, like what was it, 2 matches after that happened, he's fired and the rest is history. So but I think as a whole, like, especially on the women's side, it's a lot less trollish, right? Like there's a lot less like there's a lot less accounts that are going to be out there to just bullshit to bullshit. On the women's side, like it's a very welcoming environment for both home and away people. There, like I said, the support is always phenomenal. Home and away, it is one of, if not the most supported women's side in England, probably in the world, right? Like outside of like your Barcelonas, where they just, it's a fervent kind of support regardless. But like that's the level Arsenal are at. Like I said, there's a reason why the women's side plays most of their matches at the Emirates and why going into this season they've said that they're going to play just about every match they can at the Emirates. Like as long as there's no scheduling conflict, they plan on playing every match at the Emirates, and there's a reason for that because they can.
Well, and they packed the bitch out, so it's like, why
Yeah,
not?
that's what I'm saying. They sustain it. Like that's, you know what I mean? A women's team packing out a men's stadium in England is huge because it's not like it would be the equivalent of like for the American fans out there, the NWSL fans, it would be the equivalent of like an NWSL team selling out a football stadium. Like that's something that not a lot of people can see, but like Arsenal do. You know, 40, 50, 60,000 fans for the women's side. Easy. So, I think in that regard, it's always an A plus for that. But like I said, just as a whole on the season, B plus, because I did not like kind of people getting into their feelings over the Jonas out stuff. I understand supporting the team, but sometimes you got to just admit, like, look, We need to get this motherfucker out. Period. Point blank. Like we just like we can't like fake support our way through this season. Like it would have been ugly. It would have been ugly.
See, and I was kind of hoping for ugly.
I know.
I was just sitting in the back loving it all, and then I was like, oh, they actually got rid of him. What?
Yeah, I think that was
Game's
a surprise,
rigged.
even for us. Like we got rid of him so quick. I think at least for me, like I thought, okay, if we can get rid of him by January, maybe that'll be good. But I think the team saw that, like I said, after that blowout to Bayern, after the absolute shit show that was the loss to Chelsea. Because again, it wasn't even that we lost at home to Chelsea. It was, if you watch that match back, it was how we lost. They had wide open goals. Like the defense was just nowhere to be found. There was a lot of, like, I hate saying this about players, but like it felt like a lot of players had just given up. There was just like the vibes were so bad. I can't stress this enough because I feel like people are trying to rewrite history, especially now with Jonas doing well in San Diego. Like there was a 4 to 5 match stretch where players were literally in tears on camera after matches, after having team talks that Jonas was leading. You know what I mean? And I'm sure part of it was the frustrations of losing, but these weren't people crying at the final whistle. Like they were going into this huddle, coming out of it with tears in their eyes.
Yeah.
Based off what this motherfucker was saying. So like that's what I'm saying. It's like this team was in a terrible place. And I just think fans sometimes, like, especially our fans, like, you need to sometimes acknowledge, like, look, this person needs to go, and by any means necessary. So, yeah, but B+.
Congratulations, I guess. Well, I mean, this for the final topic. Front office.
Ooh, the fun conversation at Arsenal.
I mean, they have to at least get the positive for eventually moving on and hiring Renee, so that's a positive, right?
Yes, that is a positive. We're still owned by Stan Kroenke, which is a negative. I will say here's what I'll say about kind of like the Arsenal ownership in our front office. I think over the last couple of years, it's been clear that Stan is taking steps back. I don't know if that's because he wants to, which I thank God, or if it's because kind of the other members of that board are kind of doing all they can to force him to, which thank God. But I don't think there will ever be a point until he dies where Stan sells the team. I just don't. Like, he has a death grip on that squad, but I do.
There's no reason.
Yeah. But I will say, just as someone who understands American ownership and understands Stan Kroenke, like, his love is the Los Angeles Rams. Like, he built that new stadium for them. He's loved the Rams as his primary, like, favorite child since they were in St. Louis. Like, that is his baby. And if there's one team that he owns that he will never give up power from, it's that. I think now he's realized that he's getting old and he can't really keep doing this. And I think that's going to work out in Arsenal's benefit, because the one that's going to take over now, who's been slowly over the last couple of years getting higher and higher up the ladder, is his son, Josh Kroenke. And I think that is the one that Arsenal fans are going to love out of KSC, because he is the one that took primary control of the Denver Nuggets. And as soon as he did that, they started spending on free agents and went on a championship run and won a title. And ever since then, they have been perennial contenders in the NBA. He took control of the Colorado Avalanche, and I'm not a hockey person, but from what I understand, the moment he did that, they started spending and they started going into becoming a playoff team. I don't think they've won the Stanley Cup. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not a hockey fan, so I'm not sure. But they've been a lot better. And like I said, over the last couple of years, it's been very clear that Stan has kind of taken steps back from Arsenal and let his son kind of step forward. And we've seen the changes in that, right? Like the last couple of years, Arsenal starting to spend more on the men's side. They're starting to kind of have a team that is compete. Like, we're knocking on the door of that championship. Like, we have been, people make jokes, but at the same time, like, we're a team that is finishing second for the last 3 years. Like, that is consistency a lot of clubs wish they had right now. So I think best case scenario, outside of being bought by, like, an oligarch type of person. I think best case scenario for Arsenal is just letting Josh take control fully. I think once that happens, you're gonna see a completely different Arsenal club for the better. And I'm hoping he's gonna do that starting this summer with the women's side. I think especially on the women's side, like a $5-10 million investment can essentially buy you a new team. You know, the low price of an academy player on the men's side can buy you a new team on the women's side. So I think,
and that's the most frustrating thing about women's football. It's like you can sell. Honestly, it's an academy kid. Sell one academy kid, and you could legitimately refresh your entire
one academy player right now. You know, I mean, the most expensive player is what, Bonmati, who obviously Chelsea just spent $1 million on Germa, but like if Bonmati was to be sold today, she'd probably be close to $2 million, 1.5.
Yeah.
So like, you know, which again is a lot for a lot of women's teams, but when you're talking about teams like Arsenal, like Barcelona,
that's literally an academy player. That academy players are 10, 15, 20 million. Get rid of. That's like, yeah. And that is what's
you're going to start seeing it. Like I said, I think this is a huge summer for the women's side and the front office. I think that, you know, the worst thing they can do is rest on their laurels and say, oh, we got the Champions League. This is a team that can win it all. Like, we're going to stick with this squad. Like, no, you need to say, we just won the Champions League. Who can we go get over to come over right now?
Yeah.
And I think we will, because last season, I don't think anyone expected us to go poach Caldente from Barcelona, right? And I know a lot of the jokes early season was like, oh, they got the worst Barcelona player. They got, you know, this is a player that's not, you know, why would you want her of all people in Barcelona? She didn't really do anything. And she gets the last laugh. Like, she came up clutch in our run in the Champions League. She was clutch in the final. She's been a goal-scoring machine the last several months, and she's only getting better. Like, I think she's only going to do better with a full off-season under Renee, under that mindset of what she wants to do with the club. And like I said, we just need to go get more players. Like, we just need to get, and not even a lot. I think if we can just come away with 2 to 3 solid signings, like, that'll put us in a position to really challenge for the WSL title. Because I think that needs to be the goal. As much as I love Champions League, and as much as I would love to try to run it back, I think it was one of those, like, Renee proved her point, right? Like, I won the Champions League, give me money to invest, and now let's go retake our crown of the WSL, and let's go back to winning that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row.
Please no. Not another dominant team. Share.
The original dominant team, you know.
Again, I don't care about the past. Who cares about the past? Quit holding on. Move on, old man.
I'm speaking facts of what we are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh man.
But I mean, like I said, I think that needs to be the goal. I mean, again, like, you can take Champions League serious, but I think it's the other London team that needs to be obsessing over that trophy, because they're the ones, you know, spending desperately to get it. And you think you're upset? Imagine how Chelsea fans feel right now with Arsenal winning Champions League. Imagine that feeling. Imagine that feeling.
See, and technically, Arsenal was the better of the two evils. I was more okay with Arsenal winning it than Barca winning it. So it's like, just other than Treb and DT's gonna be, and other people are gonna be so annoying. But you know, I just didn't have.
Oh, you want to know annoying? Like, I'll just give you a preview of what's to come in the 12th podcast, right? So, like, you want annoying? Like, I have a whole bit planned. Understand, props have been bought. The insufferableness has only begun.
Oh no! I was like,
came in here with some decorum, right? Like, I've kept it really low key.
You really have that
on our podcast.
You have though.
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, I've gotten, I mean, anyone who follows my Blue Sky knows, I think in like the preceding week, I was posting several pictures a day, probably annoying the fuck out of several people. But at the same time, like, it was a Champions League. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, no, that's what you're supposed to do.
You know,
I would have done the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, especially me, because like I was the one bringing a lot of the smoke going into that match. Like, I was calling for the 3-1 win over Barcelona. Like a lot of people did not like that. But it's like I said, like I think as much as I was worried about Barcelona, I firmly believed it, and they proved me right, which is like
Yeah,
all
they
things
did.
are remaining the same. If all things are the same, if there's no like fuckery with the refs, if there's no like voodoo magic, like all things equal, Arsenal win that match. And I very much believed it, and we very much proved it. And I'll say this, it has nothing to do with Barcelona having a bad game. They did not have a bad game. They were shut down.
Yeah.
They had 20 shots. They were shut down. Leah Williamson herself, I almost called her Leah Thompson. I'm like thinking of like, anyway. Leah Williamson herself had 20 defensive actions, 14 of which were clearances, 19 of which were clearances, 14 were interceptions. Like she put on a clinic. That entire defense put on a clinic from top to bottom. So like we
Barcelona were bad because of Arsenal. Like because
that's
Arsenal.
What I mean. Like there weren't many moments where you can look at it and be like, oh, well, there was like 4 missed obvious goals. Like no, they weren't missed. Like we were there. We were blocking them. We were getting feet on the ball. Like we were deflecting easy passes into the ball. Like we played that match the way that I felt like we would play with Daphne Van Domselaar in goal, which she was announced injured going into international break, which makes me feel like she was playing that match not at 100%, which is even scarier to think about, So, but yeah, just to circle back to the front office, I think in terms of grades, I'll give us like a B- right now. I think, like I said, I think over the last couple of years with the men and women's side, we've seen, well, that's the thing, right? Like Arsenal right now are very much one club. Like over the last several years, it's been called Project Arsenal for a reason. Like we have been, and I say the colloquial we, like I don't work there. They have been very purposeful in, making sure that the men, the women, and the academy are all under the banner of Arsenal. Like it is all one club. As much as they can have synergy and like people controlling, they'll do that. So I think over the last couple of years, like I said, we've seen Josh kind of take more and more power. The day that he can finally grasp all the power from his father and like become the main person at that club, I think will be the best day for Arsenal, outside of them just outright selling, which honestly, like I said, from what I've seen from Josh, I wouldn't mind if they never sell and like just let Josh run the team, because I feel like, especially when it comes to soccer, he's shown that he wants to get into soccer, and he's shown that Arsenal is his preferred, because he didn't get involved with the Rapids, even though he was offered like a general manager in that role, from what I understand. He didn't really want to get involved with the Rapids. Like he was like, no, I'd rather get involved with Arsenal. Now that could be because obviously more money comes from that, but as long as he's focused on it and as long as he wants to do it, I feel like he should be doing it. And so when that happens, they'll get a higher grade. But for now, it's a B-.
But also, if I had to choose between baseball and football,
oh, no, not the Rockies, the Rapids, MLS.
Oh, the Rapids. Oh, God, yeah. Then I'm totally choosing Arsenal. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No, thank you.
I don't know if they own the Rockies. I don't think Stan owns the Rockies.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't.
He owns pretty much all of the Denver, Colorado teams. Except maybe the Rockies.
Honestly, I don't even think about the Rapids at all. Like I'm not a big MLS
person. People do think about the Rapids, bro. I cover MLS, and not a lot of people think about the Rapids.
That's crazy.
But yeah, like I said, I'm just like, this is a crucial summer all the way around for Arsenal. I think both men and women. This summer is going to really kind of dictate how a lot of people feel about the front office and the direction that we're going.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, thank you. Please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and what you do.
Yes, I'm on Blue Sky at Treb Tracy. That is where you can find me. I am only there. I've nuked the other site completely from my mind. You can also, if you want to read about Angel City, if you want to read about LAFC, if you want to learn about NWSL and kind of come along for the ride, like I said, they just signed Svendis Jónsdóttir. They've hired Alexander Strauss as a head coach, who will have his press conference tomorrow. There will be stories up. I run angelsonparade.com. That's where you can find all of the LA soccer news, notes, recaps, previews, everything. a lot more planned with that site. It's been a rough year, kind of in the personal aspect of things, but I say we, it's basically a one-man show, but like there's a lot coming for that site. I'm really happy about. But yeah, other than that, you can also find me on the 12 as part of this network, as part of the Shades of Blue network on the 12 podcast if you want to learn about all things WSL. And I think a lot of the reviews that we've gotten so far, the early returns has been that a lot of people are happy that we do not spend all of our time talking about the big clubs. And I think that is one thing we've been very aware of. And it's one thing we've strode to do. And that's why we had 2 parts to the end of season, because as you know, of the 4 hosts, me and Deep are Arsenal fans. Your brother and Tom is a Manchester City fan, and Mark is a Chelsea fan. And so we have the top 3 clubs covered. We spent 1 episode just lashing out on the season or celebrating it. And then we spent an entire episode on the rest of the league, because we do very much care about giving attention to all of the teams, not just some, not just the big clubs. Like I very much enjoyed watching Crystal Palace this year. I'm going to enjoy watching London City next season. So we're only getting started there. I would encourage you, if you want to hear about the WSL and see people kind of have a lot of fun with it. We do a lot of silliness, but we also have a lot of good conversations. So find us on the 12. We're on the 12 at Blue Sky. And of course, you'll see it if you follow Shades of Blue. So, yep, that's where I'm at.
And I am on my way after this, making some more content and stuff like that naturally, but I'm about to do a deep dive on this Andre Jeglitz. He's confirmed going to be Man City's newest manager. He's stepping down from the national team to take over City women in Danish.
Okay. I'm not familiar with his
Oh no, it's fine. He won a Champions League, and he's won many.
With who though?
Yes, Umel. It was like 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's actually a good one. As much as people like to rag on the past of women's soccer, like those teams were surprisingly tough, especially in some of, like I said, like the team that we beat for our first Champions League, the Swedish team. They were at that point like a dominant team in women's soccer. So like, yeah. A lot of if you were able to get it out the mud back then, like I have confidence in you as a manager. If you would have been like, he was part of like the Leon dynasty or something, or like, it's kind of like
okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'm excited to look into him, and obviously the first interview and stuff like that. But he's won before. I know that's probably a big deal. Give him some gravitas, and obviously he's been in the game for a while, and this is a big move for him, so we hopefully take it seriously. Yeah, I'm interested.
Okay.
I'll try to remain optimistic, because I mean it's better than spinning black dude. It's better than Garrett Taylor.
I was about to say, at least it's not Garrett. Like, trust me when I say the freedom you feel when you get off from under a manager like that.
Yeah,
just for a player's sake. I just, there's a part of me. I mean, I guess I'm glad you didn't do it sooner, because I think had you done that move sooner, you probably would still have Chloe Kelly, and like, who knows? But like, yeah, I'm glad that one of the last things Gareth Taylor did was push her so far away she wanted to come back home, because I think she's now buying houses in London probably.
See, and like obviously we were supposed to be ending this, but that's what like the whole Chloe Kelly thing, because then she like once again brought up the whole like Gareth is an asshole thing, which to me is like, well, there goes any players wanting to come to us. Like, and I think that's
it's not great when like a Champions League winner is like, hey, that coach I used to play for, fuck that guy.
And it's happened so many people.
The manager I play for now, she's the best. Like, she's been glazing Renee Slagers in public so hard. Great. Like, she's doing the best recruiting job for the women's side, better than anyone ever could. Like, she is selling that club hard as fuck.
It's so it's so frustrating, and it's like and also I heard him and Bunny might have had a dust up as well, and it's like
that was, to me, that's the scary part. Like, I know it's Chloe Kelly, like a great player, but like the risk of losing Bunny Shaw was real.
Oh yeah, you should do anything and
that would have really killed you guys. I feel like, especially as a team that is so close to like Champions League consistency and like being a top 3 team consistently, like losing Bunny Shaw right now.
Oh, it would have killed me. It would have killed me.
Yeah,
because just what she represents, to us as a podcast and everything. And
although I don't know, man, Chicago out here announcing new stadiums and stuff.
It's not happening. She's not going there. Like I actually was a little bit worried. Once they got Lauren, like legit, when they got Lauren and everything.
You really think the Lakers were going to pay to get Bunny Shaw on their team? Let's be real.
The Lulu coming from Jake and Phil had me shook. And then everybody else like joined in on the joke, and I started getting like outnumbered, and I was just like, I don't like this.
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Again, apologies to everyone for not being on the live stream. I crashed out hard. And for those that don't, as you can hear a lot of times, we are all very much part of the same group chat, and it's one thing to take Arsenal jokes a whole season. It's another thing to watch Tottenham win Europa League and then have an even bigger swell over. And I crashed out. I'm not gonna lie. I crashed out. I needed like 2 days to not be around anyone online or like anyone in light. I needed 2 days to just be in my room. I could not do it. I'm usually the first one to jump into the lines, then no fear. But like, I was more worried that like I would come on and say some real foul shit. Like I would let me just take 10 seconds.
Because we definitely would have went at you. We definitely would have.
No, I know. That's why I was just like, you know what? Nah, because I'm gonna say some real foul shit. Like I'm gonna say some real foul shit. Let me keep this friendly.
Know yourself. I guess that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
know yourself.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it's not fun when the whole group chat is joking about some shit, right? That is not great. And like I said, we as an Arsenal fan, like we there's only like 3 of us in that chat, and like we go through it. It is infuriating when West Ham fans and Man United fans and Chelsea fans and City fans and Liverpool fans fucking Captain Planet their way to fucking come together to shit on your team on a daily basis. It sucks. It sucks.
That's fair. Oh, I never thought of it that way.
No, yeah, it sucks, bro. That's what I'm saying. So like, I think I'm deserved 1 crash out a year. I feel like that's fair.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But I love y'all. I love it. Hey, I love the shit talk. I'm like the biggest shit talker there is. Like
now I understand Devin a little bit more.
Yeah,
but sometimes he just needs to be chilling. It's like, bro, we're
again, like I think there's 2 Arsenal fans, right? Like I feel like as loud and as obnoxious as I can be, I'm a lot more tempered and calm and common sense about where Arsenal are, like on a day-to-day basis. Devin is just reckless. Like he is the insufferable Arsenal fan that people like point to and be like, that's the one we hate. That's why we hate you.
Love him, but yes.
So, but I love him. But yeah, but he is the one that like, no, bro, we're gonna win Champions League. Easy, bro. 80% of our team is hurt. Don't matter, bro. We're gonna win. Fuck it. 10 goals. Like we ain't scored 10 goals in 30 matches. What do you mean, bro? But yeah. Man. Anyway, we can talk about that another time.
And we will. We will be back tomorrow. Speaking of, I'll be bringing on Tottenham Depot podcast to talk about Tottenham.
The men's side or the women's side?
Men's side. I have Lauren from Gold Diggers coming on, and that's in a couple of weeks.
Their Winky Dink trophy. I will say their trophy is a lot better than Chelsea's trophy. That shit is a disgrace.
It is silly.
Like that they have that. Anyway.
They should have won it. Yes, obviously, be happy that you won the trophy, but like you literally could not have lost that. If you like the jokes, the embarrassment that would have.
I'll be honest. I'm one of those people that like. I hope Arsenal never win that trophy because to even have a chance at winning that trophy, you have to miss Champions League and miss Europa League. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Don't never let me have that trophy. I hope we never win that shit. Ever. Fuck that. I don't ever want to be in that competition in my life. Hell no.
No, it honestly, it's our buddy Red Half of Sheffield, their Sheffield United podcast, and then every single time he was on, he would be like, "I hope we get relegated and we never make it back to the Premier League." And he means it. He says, like, you can feel it in his heart. And he's just like, because I'm tired of the up and down. Like, this isn't fun. Watching my team get destroyed every week, and then I just come back down just to go back up to get our asses kicked. Like, half of the time, I'm not enjoying myself.
Bridesmaids than to get relegated. I've said this before. Like, relegation feels like the worst in the world. So, like, I will take an infinity of second place over that life. Like, for sure. I'll take the jokes that come with it. It's fine. That's fine. It's
And you do so well.
But times are changing. I have faith. Like I said, on the women's side at least, I know times are changing. Hopefully the men can mirror that. I think the women, I will say I was very happy and proud of Arsenal all around with how they treated that Champions League run, because even Arteta was like, we need to learn from them. Like they did something that we're trying to do. And like we can like, so to have that humbleness about you and have that humility and to be like, yeah, our women started taking care of business. We need to get on that stage. Like, yeah, you do, brother. Get on that stage. So like, we'll see how it goes next year.
Humble? Huh?
Yes. Humble,
Humility?
eh? Humble,
Huh?
Y'all should say anyway.
Oh, trust me. Have you not heard us this season? I have not been obnoxious at all this season.
No, you haven't. Well, some a little bit. It is what it
is. Who I am is annoying, but when it comes to the team, I'm just like, hey, we are what we are. Like,
yeah.
All right, we'll see you soon. You know the vibes.
Yes.
Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.